Welcome to Weekend Update from Death Curse Society for May 31st, 2024. Every week, we run down all the horror news that you need to know. There's not a whole lot to talk about today, but I do have something to get off my chest. So, I'm Red Crank. Let's get to the news. The rumors started a couple of weeks ago, but now Variety confirms the news. Mike Flanagan will write, direct, and produce Blumhouse's next The Exorcist film. Flanagan's take on the material is said to be a radical new take, rather than follow in the disastrous footsteps of The Exorcist Believer from David Gordon Green in 2023. Green was originally brought on to direct a trilogy of new tales, beginning with Believer, but left the franchise in January of this year after the first film turned into a critical bomb. Mike Flanagan in a statement said, "The Exorcist is one of the reasons I became a filmmaker, and it is an honor to have the chance to try something fresh, bold, and terrifying within its universe. Reuniting with my friends at Blumhouse, with whom I've made some of my favorite pieces of work, only makes this more exciting." Flanagan's previous films, which he wrote and directed for Blumhouse, include Oculus in 2013, as well as Hush and Ouija, Origin of Evil, both in 2016. Jason Blum, founder and CEO of Blumhouse, says, "Mike's voice and vision are indispensable for horror fans, and we are excited to welcome him back to Blumhouse. I immediately responded to Mike's new take on the world of The Exorcist and can't wait for audiences to experience it." Okay. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to editorialize just a bit. I'm just glad to hear he is not continuing that horrible storyline from Believer and going in a whole new direction. The way David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and Scott Teems wrote that last film was clearly sending the story in the absolute wrong direction for a sequel to one of the greatest horror films of all time. Personally, I'm happy Green left the project, and I would prefer he doesn't get another blank check to work on any other storied franchises. Mike Flanagan, on the other hand, has created some fantastic works, some original, while others have been adaptations of difficult material. It's no secret that The Shining is probably my favorite horror film of all time, so when a sequel was announced that would satisfy fans of the Stanley Kubrick film and Stephen King's novel, I was quite skeptical. But Flanagan delivered. I have quite a bit more faith in Flanagan with this material, especially knowing it is a fresh new approach rather than building off Green's trilogy template. Of course, we will have to wait a couple of years to see what comes of the project, but we will be following very closely. The news many Stephen King fans have been waiting for is finally here. Bill Skarsgard will reprise his role of Pennywise for the upcoming Max series, Welcome to Derry. From Warner Brothers Television, Welcome to Derry will be a prequel series to the 2017 film It and its 2019 sequel, It Chapter 2, directed by Andy Muschietti. Deadline broke this news this week, including that Muschietti will direct 4 episodes of the 9-episode series and that Skarsgard will serve as executive producer. When the project was first announced in 2022, Variety said the series will begin in the 1960s, in the time leading up to the events of It, the 2017 film based on the Stephen King horror novel. The story is also said to include the origin story of Pennywise the Clown. The series is expected to debut in 2025. Return to Silent Hill is coming soon from director Christoph Gans, and Konami leaked the first teaser trailer on X this week. In the film, which is a new adaptation of the video game Silent Hill 2, Jeremy Irvine stars as James Sunderland, a man broken after being separated from his one true love. When a mysterious letter calls him back to Silent Hill in search of her, he finds a once recognizable town transformed by an unknown evil. As James descends deeper into the darkness, he encounters terrifying figures both familiar and new, and begins to question his own sanity as he struggles to make sense of reality and hold on long enough to save his lost love. A release date has yet to be announced. A24, the studio that has put out some of the most talked about horror over the last decade, has 2 films of note they recently announced. After writing a string of horror hits, Scott Beck and Brian Woods will step up to directing with the new film Heretic for A24. Heretic is about two missionaries who become ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse after they knock on the wrong door. Beck and Woods are also writing the script for the film, which will star Hugh Grant, Chloe East, and Sophie Thatcher. Beck and Woods are best known for co-writing A Quiet Place with John Krasinski, along with writing 65 and last year's The Boogeyman. They also wrote and directed Haunt in 2019. Heretic will arrive in theaters November 15th, 2024. Additionally, the brothers of acclaimed filmmaker Robert Eggers, Max and Sam Eggers, are getting into the family business with A24's The Front Room, coming September 6th, 2024. The film follows a young, newly pregnant couple forced to take in an ailing stepmother who has long been estranged from the family, and will star Brandy Norwood, Catherine Hunter, Andrew Burnap, and Neil Huff. Max and Sam Eggers also adapted the screenplay from a short story of the same name by Susan Hill. And that wraps up our short edition of Weekend Update. As always, for more news and information, please visit our new and improved website, deathcursesociety.com. We update the site almost daily with news, reviews, film releases, convention information, and more. Stay on top of all the news in horror by following the website and our social media. On the next Monday Maniacs, we bring back the internet's only horror trivia-themed live interactive game show, Curse Your Luck. If you haven't signed up to be a contestant yet, head over to the Curse Your Luck page on our website and do just that. You could win a custom horror wreath from Bell's Fancy Creations. It's going to be a fun time. Until then, thanks for watching and have a great weekend. Woo!